me this morning, the next coach to speak is the head coach of the Charleston Southern Buccaneers, Jamie Chadwell. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark. How's everything?
Doing fine. Buccaneers dropped to 1-1 with the loss at Troy back home on Thursday, second Thursday night game in 15 days. We're going to talk about the game against Troy, and then we'll start taking questions and talk about ETSU.
Well, it was a frustrating game to say the least. We don't start off the game very well. We're down 14-0, and we battle back to make it a 21-7 ball game. Have a chance there right before half to make it 21-14. We turn it over in the red zone about the 7-yard line, and then coming out of the second half, we regrouped and thought we had got some things fixed and go on a great drive there to begin the third quarter. Kept the ball about 8 minutes. It's 21-9 at that time, and have a chance to really make it an interesting game with about 7 minutes to go in the third, and can't execute again in the red zone, and sort of got away from us after that. We gave up a special teams touchdown and didn't play well going into the fourth quarter. So frustrating on a lot of ends, but we're thankful we came out of it healthy, learned a lot about our team, I think, and where we feel like we can be. And it's good to have a game on Thursday to sort of get this one past you. ETSU's coming in, obviously, first-year program, and so we're excited they're coming down here that we can get back on the field and make some corrections from last week and hopefully get back in the win column.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. At this time, we'll start taking questions for Jamie Chadwell. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser. Click raise hand if you join us via the web. And while we're waiting for questions, Coach, if you could talk about, this is going to be your third game in just 15 days, just how you've been able to, manage the health and kind of the practice routine where you're keeping your team fresh.
Well, it's been a little tough, especially this past one, Mark. We play that game at 7 o'clock our time. We get back about 7:30 a.m. on Sunday morning because of the bus trip. So that's been tough. We've really tried to. We've not been in a true routine because of the way the schedule worked out, but we've tried to take an extra day off here or there, or maybe just go helmets instead of pads just to get the guys' legs back under them. So it has been a challenge as far as that, and so we've had to not hit as much certain days, and then when we do, maybe shorten the practice and then go helmets a lot more often than we have in the past. But that's part of it, just trying to get our guys to the game as healthy as they can. And for the most part, we have been, and so I am thankful for that. And we came out of this last game relatively healthy, and so we should have our full complement of the team coming back. But that's been a big challenge. But when you play those Thursday nights, I think the benefits of having Thursday night home games and with the crowd and the atmosphere, outweigh some of those other things. You can adjust, and your players will adjust as long as when you're around that tunnel on game day, there's a big crowd there. I think they forget about how they feel.
All right, Coach, we'll have a couple questions for you. Chuck Winchester of the Goose Creek Gazette. Good morning. Go ahead, Chuck. Morning, Coach. How are you?
Chuck, man, good morning. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. I've got a couple questions for you this morning. First one being, how important, as mentioned before, you've had, this will be your third game in 15 days, how important is your strength and conditioning coach and his role within your team to have your team prepared to play on such a short turnaround, 3 games in 15 days?
Well, Coach Chad Scott does an outstanding job with our program and our strength program. He's our most important coach we have. The kids really believe in him and believe in what he does. And since the time that our staff has gotten here, I've never felt like we've not been in the best shape of anybody we played. That he's always had us ready. This has been a challenge for him because it is a quick turnaround, and then not maybe having the type of nutrition that you need to perform at a high level consistently has been a challenge. But he's handled it like a pro, and without him, I don't think the success that our program has it would be accomplished without his leadership there in the weight room.
I believe I heard some of your players talking at practice. I heard them say something about body by Scott. I don't know what that's all about, but I heard the players talking about it. My second question, Jamie, is about, obviously I cover some prep football here in the area, high school level, and I understood that Dalton Saunders is on your team the past 2 years and saw that he's not on the roster, but saw him out of practice helping your team out in a different role. Can you talk about what he's doing for your program now?
Well, Dalton, you're very observant there, Chuck. Since you must follow football pretty well. Dalton did play for us the past couple of years, and in the his mother passed away suddenly, and that really shook him to his core, and he took some time off just to try to get his mind right and what direction he wanted to go. And he wants to be a coach now, so he's helping us coach. He helped coaches our offensive line as a student assistant, does a great job. He's very well liked among our team. He's got a nickname called Sunny Six. Maybe later on, if you call again next week, which I assume you will because you're the only guy that calls us, I'll tell you a little bit about him if you want to ask. But he's a good kid, and the team loves having him around. He's going to be a heck of a coach one day.
Thanks for your time, Jamie. Sunny Six Killer Coaching. There's your headline.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck. Coach, just a couple more questions before we let you go. Darius Hammond, another big game, 161 yards against Troy. Just his emergence as your running back, and then maybe even Kyle Copeland's play against Troy, how he's come on as a secondary QB for you.
Yeah, Darius did have another great game. Darius, as I said, we all here on our staff just think he's a heck of a football player, and most people see it on the special teams. But we knew we were getting a pretty good player at running back there, and he does a great job with what role we ask him to do. And I think you're going to continue to see him have success. Our kids love blocking for him because he just finds ways to make something happen. He's just overall just does a good job out of the backfield blocking. He's got some ways to improve, obviously, but we're thankful we have him. And he's had two really big games, and he's not unknown to us, but I think a lot of other people. And then Kyle Copeland, I think, has played a really good football game for us on Saturday. Moved our offense, put us in some position to make some plays. And he's had two pretty good games. Austin was still banged up from the first game, so we decided to shut him down there basically after halftime, and Kyle took the reins going into the second half and played pretty well. So he's continued to improve, and I think you'll have a chance to see him play more and more as he gains more and more confidence in what we're doing and what we're asking him to do. But those two guys, our first two games, have really played well, and we're excited now that we've had a couple guys from some team suspensions that'll be coming off of that going forward. So we feel like we'll have a full complement of players now going, starting with this ETSU game that we're excited about. A couple starters that have been playing for us, so we're looking to improve in all areas.
Great. Coach, we do have another question for you. It's from Nick Pierce of the Liberty Flame Sports Network. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, good morning, Jamie. Just to kind of expand on Darius a little bit, I think you told me in preseason it was just a kind of a knack for him to make guys miss on the special team side. Are you seeing a little bit of that with him as well, especially once he gets to the second level with some of his runs?
Oh, we are, and thanks for the question. He just has, once he finds that seam and finds that hole, he knows how to make that guy miss. And he just has, like I said, a knack for it, ability for it. He's not going to be tackled by the first guy, and it's a very rare quality most people have. But in little spaces, like when we hand the ball off and it's between, he just finds a way. And he's a special runner with the balls in hand, when the football's in his hand. And we've tried a lot to get the ball to him out of the backfield and just let him do some things that he's capable of. And as he continues, now that we're going to get a couple running backs back that we've had some injured, I think you'll see him get less carries, but I think he'll be even more productive because he won't be worn down as much. And so I'm excited to see him be completely healthy and full speed consistently what he can do because he's had two really good games.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. And Coach, last question I have for you. Thursday's opponent, your alma mater, East Tennessee State. Just what does it mean for you personally? You played there, you started your coaching career there. Now you're after the 12-year lull when the program disbanded and after the 04 season. Just what does it mean coming back and playing your alma mater or coaching against your alma mater?
Well, I'm thankful that they brought it back. That they had leadership, they had a president that had a vision, and an athletic director that had a vision to understand the importance of having a quality football program. And so, as an alumni, I'm more than thankful to have it back because you have children. You'd love to one day say, "Hey, this is where I played, and this is where I met your mother, and all these good things that ETSU did for me." So there's a lot of great feelings for that. I still want to beat their butt on Thursday night, though. That's going to be the main thing. And so I'm thankful that we can be part of their inaugural season back. That we'll have have a part in it, so we can see those guys up front. And I can thank the coaches and those and the AD and whoever here personally, just as an alumni, that we're appreciative of what they're doing. But make no doubt about it, the Buccaneers from Charleston Southern will be where our heart is and what we'll be focused on.
All right, Coach, I'm not seeing any more questions. I will make one last call. Any final questions for Jamie Chadwell, please ask at this time. I'm hearing none. We'll go ahead and let you go. But thanks for joining us. Good luck Thursday. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.